Oh my God! Heyman's mouth casted check! Look at this! Oh my God!
If there is one thing you can predict in a match, it is that the announce table will definitely take a beating. It's accessible and can facilitate pretty much any wrestling move. And anyway, WWE must have an infinite supply of these, judging by how often they get demolished. Here are 10 times the announcer table was destroyed. Number 10, Shane McMahon. WrestleMania 32. Shane McMahon is fighting The Undertaker for a chance to become the general manager of Raw. Shane is known for pulling off ridiculously stupid stunts and putting himself in harm's way to achieve a result. He delivered again during his Hell in a Cell match against the Dead Man when he leapt off the top of the cage. Sadly, no one was home. Number 9, Shinsuke Nakamura. AJ and Nakamura have been at each other's throats since their days at New Japan Pro Wrestling. And with all the disrespect we got to see from Nakamura's heel, it was only fair that the final last man standing match between them end with a bit of redemption. At Money in the Bank 2018, the phenomenal one won by driving Nakamura through a table with the phenomenal forearm. Number 8, Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins had a score to settle with the Beast when he practically snagged the title at WrestleMania. The two have been at it since, and they met once more at 2015's Royal Rumble in a triple threat with John Cena. With that much at stake, Rollins had to find a decisive way to plant the Beast and focus on Cena Nation. His last resort was to drive an elbow through the Beast. Number 7, Undertaker. Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker had a particularly tumultuous rivalry. This crescendoed when the two Goliaths met at SummerSlam 2015 to see once and for all who is the better man. Brock, in typical fashion, landed an F5 and planted the Dead Man through an announcer table. Number 6, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had his feud with John Cena, which culminated in their match at SummerSlam. As one would expect, the battle was very lopsided in the favor of the Tribal Chief, but Cena was able to turn the tables by driving the head of the table through a table. It gave Cena some time to recuperate and get back to the match. Number 5, Sasha Banks. Since there are more than just Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker in the WWE, let's see some other folks that have been slammed through the announcer table. Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair made headlines when they main evented the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in 2016. It also saw a vicious powerbomb delivered to the boss that left her incapacitated. Number 4, Batista. John Cena had a very personal rivalry with the Animal. This did get very heated at their last man standing match at Extreme Rules. A highlight of the match was when the leader of Cena Nation AA'd the Animal through a table. The impact was explosive, and Batista was left paralyzed. Number 3, AJ Styles. Speaking of the Shield, the Hounds of Justice reunited in the most unlikely of scenarios, Survivor Series 2016. They were on opposite teams, but Reigns and Rollins helped their brother Dean Ambrose settle his vendetta against AJ Styles by powerbombing him through a table the old-fashioned way. Number 2, The Miz. Logan Paul made his official debut at SummerSlam 2022, and it was a pretty impactful way to kick off a career in the WWE. The 27-year-old definitely does have the potential to excel if he keeps up the performances he delivered that day. In particular, the splash that nailed The Miz through the announcer table. This is usually not a move taken on by rookies, but Paul executed it with finesse. Number 1, Paul Heyman. Also at SummerSlam 2022, we got to see Brock reunite with his old manager, good old Paul Heyman. But since the two didn't exactly see eye to eye, Brock showed his displeasure at Paul's interference the only way he knew how, and F5'd his old friend through the announcer table. And that is it for this one, folks. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and as always, subscribe to the channel for more content like this.